It's August and I want to show you what I'm growing, starting with the greenhouse. Let's take a look inside the greenhouse. And I have 3 different sets of tomatoes that I started. Unfortunately, the ones that are in the grow bags are basically dead. I started these on January 1st, but I do have 2 other sets over here. One of them was mid-February and the other one I started April 1st. The variety is called Scotia tomato. It's a medium-sized tomato that's very productive. And beside it, I have 2 varieties of cucumbers. They haven't started producing fruit yet, but the one variety is called Vista, and it's a long slicing cucumber, and the other variety is called Anya, and it's actually a pickling cucumber. Now, both of these varieties are self-pollinating, and the benefit of that is they don't need to be pollinated, so they work very well in a greenhouse, so you don't have to have pollinators come in there. They also produce a lot more fruit because there's no male flowers. Now let's come around here and I'll show you what I have growing in the back. This is basil. I was using it earlier to cook, but now I'm basically just letting it go to seed, and that's intentional because I'm going to save the seeds for later. Beside that, I have some dill growing, and I might be able to use some of that dill with the pickling cucumbers that I showed you earlier, but if not, I do have other dill growing indoors. So I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm letting this go to seed. If you look at this up here, these ones are almost fully formed seeds, so I'll be able to collect those very soon. Over here I have marigolds in this raised container. Marigolds are great for attracting pollinators, so I like to grow them all around the garden areas to attract the pollinators. Let's come around and I'll show you. I have my second set of zucchini here. This variety is called Black Beauty. It's a very productive zucchini. Basically what I did was I grew the first set, but it was starting to really slow down. And so I started new plants indoors, and I was able to transplant them a few weeks ago. So this is the second set, and as you can see, there are lots of flowers all around, male and female flowers. So it is starting to produce fruit already, and I'm expecting to be able to harvest these all the way into late September, maybe October, depending on when the frost hits. Beside this, I have more marigolds. As I mentioned, they're great for attracting pollinators. So the more marigolds I have around here, and the more likely I'm going to get pollinators on the zucchini, the more likely I'm going to get large fruit on the zucchini. So let's come around and I'll show you what I have in the next raised bed. I have Swiss chard in here, and you'll notice that there's fences all around with bird netting. The reason for that is when I was growing them from seed, I did not want the squirrels jumping in there and digging up all the seeds. But also there are other animals out here like bunnies that might try to jump up here. So the fence is there to block all the animals, so I'm able to harvest the chard without having to worry about that. I love chard. It's a very versatile crop, and you can use the leaves to make salads with it, and you can use the stems to make grilled vegetables or stir fry. Next to that, I have carrots in a smaller raised bed over here. You'll notice that it's up against the fence, so it does get quite a bit of shade, and for that reason I'm gonna keep letting these grow as long as I possibly can, maybe all the way until November. The variety is called Tender Sweet. It's a long sweet carrot, but it does take time to grow, so I'm gonna give it as much time as possible. Now let's go take a look in the front here, and on the deck I have some containers of carrots. This is a different variety called Scarlet Nantes. It's more of a medium-sized variety, doesn't take quite as long to grow as the Tender Sweet. So I started these recently after having been able to harvest the first set of them. And then over here I have lettuce in containers. This variety is called Ruby Red lettuce. It's a leaf lettuce. It's very productive. It's also cut and come again, which means I can cut it with the scissors and it will grow back, and I can do that probably about 4 different times. Over here I have another set of the same carrots, and then over here I have more of the ruby red lettuce that I recently seeded that you can see it's just starting to germinate here. And then beside that I have another container of the carrots, and up here I actually have a couple leftover zucchini plants. I didn't intend to grow these, but they germinated. I put them in the pots. Now I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I do have some sunflowers in pots in the front, and I'm thinking I might pull those out and actually put the zucchini plants in there to replace them and see if they'll actually grow some fruit. And then over here I have the same tender sweet variety that I mentioned that are in the back of the yard here. But the difference with these is I'm growing them in grow bags, and because I was growing them in grow bags, I was actually able to start these in March because I had them in the heated greenhouse. So they've had a bit of a head start, but they are taking their time to grow. I'm probably gonna give them a little bit more time before I harvest them. Now let's go around to the front yard. Over here I have the sunflowers in pots. This variety is called Red Sun, and the packet says it's supposed to grow to about 5 feet high. They haven't grown quite that high, but the main reason for that is because I'm growing them in pots, I really didn't give them enough room for the roots to grow out, and therefore they're limited on how high they can grow. But I have the same seeds and I planted them in this raised bed, and these sunflowers, some of them are 12 feet high, and you can see how many blooms they have all over them. So it goes to show you the difference between growing sunflowers in pots versus giving their roots enough space like in this raised bed. Some other additional things I did was add compost to the bed before I transplanted these sunflowers, and I also added bone meal to the hole, which has a lot of phosphorus in it, which also is causing them to have more blooms than they would usually have. And then finally, I fertilize them every 2 weeks with a high phosphorus bloom booster type of fertilizer. And then finally down here, I have some marigolds. Like I said, great for attracting the pollinators. I just like the way they look as well. And one thing to note is sunflowers can be pretty aggressive. They don't allow other things to grow around them, but marigolds actually don't have an issue with that. So if you're ever wondering what you can grow near sunflowers, marigolds are a good option. So that's my August garden update. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like or subscribe, and I'll make another video in September.